UFC 309 is this Saturday between Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic, which means it's time for me to break down every single fight on this card, starting with the early prelim opener, going all the way up to the main event. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. First fight of the night, we got Veronica Hardy versus Eduardo Moira. So Veronica Hardy, she's been putting it together recently, win after win after win. Close fights, but she's winning them, you know. She keeps getting wins on paper, and she looks good doing it. Eduardo Moira is coming off of her first loss, I believe. It was against Diniz Gomez. Diniz Gomez was able to keep her against the cage, grind her out. And Moira kind of gassed in that fight, had nothing to give in the later rounds, lost the decision. It was a split decision, but she lost it. I don't even think it should have been a split. I think it should have been Diniz Gomez unanimous, but I think I'm going to have to go with Veronica Hardy here. I do really like Veronica Hardy. She's put together some good wins. I'm not going to be going too deep into this one, but I'm going to say Veronica Hardy takes home a decision win. That'll be the official pick. Moving up the card, we got Bassil Hafez versus Oban Elliot. So Oban Elliot's been putting it together recently. He's on a 7-fight win streak currently. He beat Val Woodburn, and in his last fight, he beat Preston Parsons by unanimous decision. You're supposed to do that, but Bassil Hafez, he lost to JDM on short notice, split decision, made it close, wrestled him a bit. Just want to make it clear, JDM was not prepared for a wrestler that fight. I think that was preparing for Kevin Holland, I believe. But this fight, Bassil Hafez in his last one went to a close decision against Gall. He won it unanimously, but it was a really close fight. And, you know, Oban Elliot, he has way more potential. I'm going to have to go with Oban Elliot by a decision. I think this is a pretty easy pick, to be honest. I don't think Bassil Hafez is going to be doing anything to win this fight. I think Oban Elliott's going to make it pretty clear, unanimous decision, 29, 28, 30, 27, possibly across the board. Oban Elliot by decision will be the official pick. Moving up the card, we've got Gall versus Ramiz Brahmiaj. I fucked that one. So Ramiz Brahmiaj lost to Themba Gorimbo by decision. That was a really boring one. Themba Gorimbo grappled him the whole time because he had some personal issues, and he said he had a pretty tough camp, you know, all this, all that. Brahmiaj had nothing. Brahmiaj. Ramiz Brahmiaj had nothing to show that fight, just got out-grappled the entire time pretty much. Gall lost his last 3 fights, got knocked out the fight before last to Mike Malott in the first round. The thing with Brahmiaj, man, I noticed a pattern. Here. You go back to 2018. He won a fight by submission. He lost his next fight. He won his next fight by submission. He lost his next fight. He won his next fight by submission, lost his next fight, won his next fight by submission, lost his next fight, won his next fight by submission, and then he lost to Themba Gorimbo last fight. So what the fuck is that telling me? He's winning his next fight by submission. He's going to tap out Gall. Sorry, guys, I don't make the rules. This is just patterns. This is grade 2 stuff. I'm just following patterns here. Brahmiaj is going to get it done by a rear naked choke in the second round. That will be the official pick. I'm just following patterns, guys. That'll be the pick. Moving up the card, we've got David Onama versus Lucas Almeida. So Lucas Almeida actually withdrew. That fight's not happening. I love up-to-date card graphics here. So next fight at the card, we got Marcin Tybura versus Jhonata Diniz. Jhonata Diniz had a full training camp for a fight 2 weeks ago that didn't happen against Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis decided not to show up. I think he was scared of DC, guys. I think Derek Lewis was scared of DC. He talked all this shit to DC, and then he didn't show up to the weigh-ins. So make of that of what you will. But Marcin Tybura in his last fight lost to Sergey Spivak by a round 1 submission or some shit like that, right? That was a rematch. He won his fight before that against Tai Tuivasa. Jesus, I picked Tai to win that fight. He has like 5 or 6 knockout losses. He's like 39 years old. Reach disadvantage of like 2 inches, which is nothing crazy. But Jhonata Diniz is knocking everyone out. He's only 8-0, but he was able to knock out Austin Lane. You know who wasn't able to do that? Rebellis de Spain, you motherfuck. You motherfuck Rebellis. I hate you. Jhonata Diniz, I think, will be able to get it done against Marcin Tybura. This is a dangerous one. Tybura will be looking for takedowns, trying to get this to the mat. Because Austin Lane, even though he was knocked out, he did get a takedown off in Jhonata Diniz. Got some control time that fight. But Jhonata was able to work his way back up to his feet. Unlike Rebellis to Spain, you motherfuck. I can't believe you. I can't believe you. How's karate combat, you motherfuck? I won't mention Rebellis anymore. He gets my blood boiling. But I'm going to go with Jhonata Diniz. I think he's going to finish Marcin Tybura. This is a dangerous one. This is a scary one. But you're not going to see me pick a 40-year-old to beat a young up-and-coming guy that's knocking everyone out. It's just not going to happen, guys. It's just not going to happen. If Marcin ends up winning, I know I'll have some of you guys in my comments, oh, Marcin was always going to win. Marcin was free. Marcin was free. Go pick a 40-year-old then. Pick the 40-year-old then. I don't care. I'm going Jhonata Diniz, round 1 KO. Lock it in. Next fight up the card, we've got Jim Miller, you're still here, versus Damon Jackson. I'm sorry, Jim, but it's over, buddy. You gotta put the gloves up, man. You're not Tony Ferguson. I'm just saying that. I'm gonna go with Damon Jackson. I think he's just gonna be crisp on the feet, and I really don't see Jim Miller winning this one. Damon Jackson's not, he has experience, you know, he's not one of these, like, new guys that learn from a loss from Jim Miller. No, like, he's not going to be making those mistakes. He's going to keep it clean, keep it on the feet, at range, pick apart Jim Miller, decision win Damon Jackson. I don't think it's that hard of a pick. Moving up the card, we've got Jonathan Martinez versus Marcus McGhee. Man, what a fight. So Martinez coming off of a unanimous decision loss to Jose Aldo. Marcus McGhee coming off of a round 2 KO win over Gaston Bolanos, which honestly, I think that win looks pretty good. Gaston Bolanos is no joke. We saw that last week. He was able to make Cortavius Romeus look pretty bad in that fight. Jonathan Martinez, man, he's a leg kicker. He's not going to be taking this one to the ground, exploiting Marcus McGhee on the ground. That's not going to happen. He's going to keep this one on the feet. We're going to see a good striking battle here. I'm going to go with Marcus McGhee, guys. Jonathan Martinez got beat up in his last fight. Didn't look amazing. I get it. It's Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo's doing that to everyone. Oh, this is a tough one, man. I understand it's Jose Aldo. He's really good. But Marcus McGhee, man, he has shown incredible skills recently. And maybe I'm going a little too hard on this. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a bit on Marcus McGhee. But I think he's going to beat Jonathan Martinez. I really do. I think he's going to take home a decision win. Maybe not finish him. Jonathan Martinez does have a good chin. Oh, this is a tough one, man. You know, Davey Grant put him out. It was a massive overhand, overhand from hell. I'm going to pick Marcus McGhee to knock out Jonathan Martinez in the second round. That'll be the official pick. Moving up the card, we've got Chris Weidman versus Eryk Anders. Wow. They got Eryk Anders as the favorite here. They got Eryk Anders as the favorite here, guys. Over a win over Jamie Pickett? That's why we're making him the favorite over Chris Weidman, a former world champion? I understand the variables. You know, he came back from a leg injury. He came back, and he showed in his last fight. He will do what it takes to win, whether it be eye-poking the fuck out of your opponent. He doesn't give a fuck. He landed a 1-2 eye poke for the finishing sequence in his last fight. The referees didn't give a fuck. Eryk Anders is the favorite? I'm going to pick Chris Weidman. Eryk Anders can't win a decision to save his life. He's lost like 6 of them, of his 8 losses, by decision. This fight goes the distance. You can pretty much confirm fully Chris Weidman's winning it if it goes to a decision. I don't see Eryk Anders as like some crazy finisher, so I'm pretty confident. I think Chris Weidman's taking home a decision win here. That'll be the official pick. Great breakdown that one was, but a favorite? Eryk Anders? Eryk Anders a favorite over a former world champion? You're smoking crack. Chris Weidman by decision. That'll be the official pick. Moving on to the main card. Let's get it. So moving on to the main card, the first fight of the main card, we got Mauricio Ruffy versus James Llontop. James Llontop, they're really setting up for a disaster in this fight. His last fight went to a split decision with Borshev, but Borshev landed a lot of heat on him in that fight. The fight before that, Chris Padilla knocked him down and submitted him with ease. Ruffy, great striking skills, coming off of a round 1 win over Jamie Malarkey. They're really setting up Llontop to get killed here, and I'm not going to overthink it. Mauricio Ruffy will get it done in the first or second round against James Llontop. He likes to set into the fight a bit, so we'll say round 2 knockout for Mauricio Ruffy. That'll be the official pick. Moving up the card to Viviane Arujuo versus Karine Silva. Cardio kickboxing classic right here. Viviane Arujuo, she's this girl that they put up against these cardio kickboxers to make them look good, pretty much. Karine Silva, she'll be landing on her hips and has, ha, 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 ha. That's her whole style. Making noise, circling, throwing some jabs out. That's her style. And that's what's going to get her a 30-27 win across the board. Karine Silva by decision. Lock it in. That's the official pick. Moving up the card, we've got Bo Nickal versus Paul Craig. Guys, if it seems I'm speeding through this a little bit, I just did this entire main card, but the audio didn't save. How does that happen? Why are you recording video, but the audio is not working? How does that even make sense? So moving up the card, we got Bo Nickal versus Paul Craig. Bo Nickal, people forget, man, this guy's grappling. It's really killer, man. This guy's double leg. It's dangerous. He coming off a win over Cody Brundage, where the first round he kind of struggled to get him to the mat, but then he did get him to the mat, got that submission in the second round. A lot of people didn't like it that it was second round, not first round, but come on, guys. Cody Brundage is a little under... No, he's not. Cody Brundage is a little piece of trash that they picked up off the road and threw into the octagon and said, do your best, buddy. But Paul Craig's pretty much the same. I think Cody Brundage, Paul Craig would be an interesting fight. Cody Brundage probably would end up winning by DQ. Paul Craig's lost 4 of his last 5, guys. 4 of his last 5 fights have been losses. That last loss was embarrassing. He was like running away from Cabarallo and just got obliterated against the fence. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's pretty sad. He got submitted by Brendan Allen in the fight before that. Lost to Volkan Ozdemir by decision. I think he's going to get out-grappled pretty easily. I think Paul Craig is one of these guys that a lot of people overrate. They see what he did. He fluked a win over Jamal Hill where he landed an armbar and rolled through, and Jamal Hill's arm fucking self-destructed. He just flukes wins out of nowhere. A second left in the fight against Malcolm and Ankalev taps. Whoa! Come on. It's more of the other fighter saying, no, I'll never be anything, than Paul Craig showing that he's anything good. That's how people lose against Paul Craig. But I think Bo Nickal will get it done. I think his grappling's... If you're picking Paul Craig to out-grapple Bo Nickal, slap yourself in the face. Splash some water in your face. Come on, take a drink of water. Relax. This isn't a hard pick. Bo Nickal, round 1 sub. He will get it done faster than that Cody Brundage fight because of what a lot of people said about it. He's going to come out there ready for a finish, and Paul Craig is there to be finished. Let's be honest. Bo Nickal, round 1 sub is the official pick. Moving up to the co-main event of the evening, guys. I am scared for Charles do Bronx, but that does not mean I'm picking Michael Chandler. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler is a rematch of back in UFC 261, I believe, for the lightweight belt. That first round was heat. Michael Chandler, I think he got a takedown on Oliveira. Oliveira got back up, and then Chandler landed a nice combo against the fence, put Oliveira on his hands and knees, nearly finished Oliveira in that first round. Couldn't do it. Second round comes along, Oliveira, after getting knocked down and getting back up, that's a mythical fighter, lands a beautiful left hook, puts Michael Chandler out. And that was when Chandler was training. Ready for that. Ready for a championship fight. Dialed in. He hasn't fought since, October of 2022? 2 years ago? He's been waiting out this whole entire time for a fight that didn't materialize. How is that going to affect his psyche? And now he's fighting someone that, even on his best night, even having a great first round, he still couldn't get it done. And that was when he was training. Oliveira went toe-to-toe with Arman Tsarukyan, who's a young up-and-comer, you know, fighting for the lightweight belt in its next fight. I think that's a little bit better than losing to a Dustin Poirier 2 years ago. And, like, getting your, like, bloodied up that fight, taking a load of damage, and not fighting since then. Oliveira's active. He showed a good performance against a young guy. It's not like he's washed. Chandler's 40 years old. Hasn't fought in 2 years. I'm going to go with Charles Oliveira to knock out Michael Chandler faster than he did last time. This time in the first round. Charles Oliveira, round 1 knockout. Do Bronx, baby. This will set him up for a BMF fight with Max Holloway if he wins. So let's hope he gets that done. Round 1 knockout for Charles Do Bronx. Maybe a sub if he knocks him down, but he will knock down Chandler first. I am calling that. He will knock down Chandler. It's just a fact of, does he pounce on him with ground and pound, or does he dive on him for a sub? That's Charles' choice, you know. That's his choice completely. We'll see what happens. We're going to go with the Charles Oliveira round 1 knockout. That's the official pick. Moving up to the main event, guys. Stipe versus Jon Jones. I took it upon myself to rewatch Stipe versus DC 2 and 3. And guys, how did he win that second fight? It's still crazy. He was losing to Daniel Cormier, walking at him with his hands at his waist, just eating punches pretty much, using his head as bait. And he lost to that in like the first 2 rounds before putting it together and landing some good body shots on DC. That third fight, it was a really close fight until Stipe Miocic put his entire finger in DC's eye. I think it was the end of the second round or end of the third round, one of the two. He had his entire finger in DC's eye, and DC was very vocal about it in the break between rounds. He's like telling his corner that he was knuckles deep. Stipe was knuckles deep in his eye. That affected the fight. I'm just saying, that affected the fight quite clearly. I'm saying Stipe is a little fluky the way he won those 2 fights. And that's the last basing of skills we can get from him. That's the last time we went 5 hard rounds was against DC. And he was losing to DC in that second fight before he changed up his game plan to body shots. That third fight, it was really close before he stuck his entire finger into DC's eye. Jon Jones, I do want to make it clear, he did lose a 5-rounder to Dominic Reyes, regardless of what the record said. He lost that fight. Go watch it yourself. Impartial judge. Judge it yourself. Because there's no way you can give Jones any of the first 3 rounds. It's just not possible. And he also went a hard 5 rounds with Anthony Smith. And that's not good. That's not good, is all I'm going to say. But I think Jon Jones will get it done against Stipe. Stipe's 41, hasn't fought in how long. We will see ring rust here. Jones will look like the fresher guy. People will be, oh, Jones really cemented himself this time. Oh, he's really the best of all time, beating a 4-year layoff Stipe Miocic, who got knocked out last time. That really sets him up for greatness. Jones will win this fight. Whoa, what a fucking revelation that is. Jones will win a fight, guys. Round 3, TKO is the official pick. I don't see this going to the distance, but if it does, it will be a clear Jon Jones win. I was really toying with the fact that Stipe could make it close, but after rewatching this shit, I don't think Stipe will make it close. I think Jones will finish him. He won't finish him like Ngannou because they're different fighters. I'm going to say Jones takes a little bit more time, picks him apart. Late round 3 or round 4, TKO win for Jon Jones is the official pick. Let me know what you guys thought of my picks. Make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe. We'll be back here for more soon. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.